Good day and warm welcome to this Power Boost meditation. I'm very happy that you've joined. My name's Judi, and today we're going to explore this idea of a relationship with God. And the reason being that this is a very central part of Raj Yoga, the study on which all of these meditations are inspired or based. And yoga means union with a being who actually elevates me, Raj, to that very royal state of self-mastery. So it's an extremely empowering practice. And so there's a lot tied into that, a relationship with God. But one of the aspects is exploring, especially if I felt I had a past connection, I already am engaging with God, to really explore what does that relationship with God look like, and is what I'm doing actually taking full benefit from that soul? What is the purpose of that soul? Who am I relative to that soul? So there is a little bit of contrast between, for example, prayer and yoga, or a word I really love, communion. It, of course, has communication in it, and the sense of meeting equals meeting, union. So communion, prayer, or not to get caught up in words, but this one activity of basically a one-way dialogue, where I send requests up to God, do this, do that, make this happen, please, sometimes begging or crying out. Very much one way, and very often having to do with external outcomes. Even when I'm asking for strength or patience, it's towards some external situation. And then the other possibility, communication, a two-way dialogue. And the objective isn't so much to change things outside or a better response to things outside, but actually simply to change myself or restore my highest potential as the entire objective. The idea that God is dedicated to nurturing the best in me. So we'll have a little taste of that possibility now. Sitting comfortably, or we might say in a very royal way, that I'm about to meet a very important being. And I'm not actually referring to God, but the self. So becoming very aware of the self, not as a worshiper or devotee or bowing down, but a very elevated, special, and valuable being, about to meet the one who can appreciate and recognize my value. For that, I'll need to go inwards, have the courage to let go of the outer form, that external way of thinking about myself, where my value is so dependent on what's going on outside. I am good because ... Letting go of all of that, it's actually a relief. Nothing to prove, nothing to explain or defend. Letting it go. Even the perceived mistakes. Allowing the mind to become free of it all. And coming very deep inside to the very essence of myself. It feels like coming to the heart of who I am and the heart of what matters to me. Listening to my own heart, which longs to return to that state of deep self-respect, of dignity, of royalty and authenticity. That makes the heart happy. And the moment I start to reflect on these deep feelings in the heart, it's as if I enter a very, very sacred space, not a physical space, very sacred state. Feels like I'm going upwards. It's more quiet. All the small stuff falls away. As if taking an elevator with my heart and moving into God's world. A space of very sacred thoughts and feelings, or I can remember that one, feel closer to that one, that very divine being, and the possibility of communication with that one through thoughts and feelings and vibration. I become very quiet. For so long, I might have been calling out to that one, but I never stopped really to listen. Now in this very elevated state, I become quiet, listening for a response, a divine response from God. How does that being see me? What are the feelings in God's heart for me? Acceptance, understanding, and the greatest surprise, deep regard. For so long, bowing down to that one who in fact has such elevated vision on me. This is not a meeting of worshiper and one being worshipped. This is a meeting of respect between me, the soul, and the ever pure one, the Supreme Soul. The one who holds every soul in such deep regard and can recognize what is unique, special, and precious in every soul. I begin to experience that I have gained access to God's heart. And just as I might listen to a physical heartbeat, I, the soul, in this very quiet state, I am listening to God's heartbeat. It's not physical, but the feelings of that soul. there is so much grace and beauty in God's heart. The soul is incapable of judging. A depth of understanding, a deep appreciation for the journey of every soul, including me, and a very pure desire just to benefit. God's heart overflows with benevolent feelings. I allow all those feelings to wrap around me, embrace me, those very pure vibrations, very healing vibrations that have the power to melt away any critical or negative thoughts I might have towards myself. So much understanding, so much sweetness, so much love, just wrapping around me, the soul, smoothing out any sharp edges in my mind, melting any violence towards the self, creating a sense of peace with the self, so that I begin to have very benevolent feelings in my heart. I am inspired to benefit myself, the soul, to bring the value of the self back home, within the self. Surrendering to God's heart empowers my own. All of it happening in a state of beautiful silence. This communion with God. I absorb these feelings and experiences deeply within the self, creating a very pure and golden connection between my heart and God's heart. Even as I become aware of sitting here in this body at this time, my feelings still feel very connected to that one. Still feeling the sweetness of their heart touching mine. Om Shanti.